Okay, this is Andy, and we're back with continuing the videos on how to make the front lighted GMC emblem. And in the previous videos, we lighted up the LED strip, and we made the molds to cast the letters. And then we cast the new letters in white, and that's as far as we got. Today, we're going to go ahead and start wiring up. I'm going to show you how to connect the LEDs together to make the different letters. And while we do that, we've got a power supply set up, and we've got our controller set up, and we're going to have all that on and ready to go, so as we make each connection we can check it and then move forward. So we've got everything set up. We've got our wire set up. I've got a drill with our 1/4 inch drill bit because we're going to have to widen a couple of the holes where the wires go through the chrome base. We've got our soldering iron and our magnifying helmet. We've got a voltage meter if we need it. And of course we've got our liquid electrical tape, because we are going to need that. Alright, let's zoom in here a little bit. And we'll go ahead and connect our LED strip to the power supply. Double check to make sure when we get everything powered up, we can go ahead and start our Magic LED app. And once we power it up, we'll find it via Bluetooth. We select that. Didn't find it. I'll try it again. There we go. Once we see the power button come on, we'll see it's on. And then we have settings up here in the very top. And for this particular controller and this particular strip, we have to, on the right side, we have red, green, blue, red, blue, green. We have green, red, blue. And that's the one that we need, is the green, red, blue. And our LED strip type is WS2811. And we go up here, and right now in our strip we have 144 pixels. We'll go ahead and set that. When we get done with everything on this, we should have 99 pixels, 99 different LEDs. So once we get all that set, we go back to the app. Make sure we connect to our controller. There it is. Then we should be able to change our colors. There we go. Brighten it up a little bit. Should be different modes we can go through. We can change the speed. It's very versatile. That's what I like about this controller. So right now we're going to set on a static color, and we'll turn the brightness down so that I can see what's working, but it doesn't affect my eyes, because those can get pretty bright when you're trying to work with these tiny connections. And that's all we'll need for the app right now. So we'll go ahead and we'll leave that on. The brightness is down low, so we can still see that our LEDs are working. And we can go ahead and power that down and disconnect it. Set that over here for now. We'll grab our chrome base, our letters that we cast. Get those out. We won't be needing those until we get done with the putting the LEDs in the base. And then we'll be mounting those back on top for cover. So right now, this is our beginning. This is what we have to start with on the G. So we're going to go ahead and measure out how many LEDs we can fit in the top of the G. Looks like about 12. We want to fit as many as we can, but we also need room to run 3 wires between each LED strip, each individual LED strip that we cut and make. So it's going to be tight, but that's how we want it. We want to fit as many as we can in there. So now we need 12 LEDs off of this strip. We're also going to cut this sheath off. This is from the factory. I want to go ahead and keep this connection, because that's one less connection that we have to make. These are 2 extra power and ground wires to connect the light strip, and we're going to do away with those because we don't need those. Turn some light on the subject here. And for most of our cuttings, our silicone wire, we can use scissors to strip the wires. I actually use my fingernails because it's very soft. And for the LED strips, we use the scissors. But on the LED strips, you'll notice between each individual LED is 3 copper connections. And that's where each circuit goes through: the power, the ground, and the data circuit. And we want to cut, it's a round circle, and we want to cut as close to the center of that circle as we can, so that we have room to solder a connection on both sides. So we want to count, we counted 12 LEDs. 2, 3, 4, 5. Count out 12. Go here and make our connection, or make our cut rather. All right, that's that. We've got our razor knife. We're just going to fold. It's got sticky on the back of it, and we're going to use that also. Of course, we're going to put liquid electrical tape on the back of here because this conducts electricity, and you've got connections on the back too. So we're going to fold that back on that side, and obviously we're going to have to fold it back on this side. Make good use of the razor here, and you can see where we have our connections on the back. Now, also with this paper, there's the sticky material, the glue on the back, and the solder won't stick to that. So we're going to have to take the soldering iron, and we're going to have to heat each one up. As you set it on there and heat it up, you'll see the glue will pull back. The heat will move the glue back. That makes it shrink. And that will assist us in making our connections, but it also makes our soldering iron dirty every time we do it, so we have to clean it after every time we do that to make sure we get a good hot solder. Okay, we're going to remove this sheath, like I said, because it takes up extra space inside that we don't have room for. And we'll do this as carefully as possible so we don't damage any of the wires that we're going to keep and use. So I try and cut close to these two wires that we're going to do away with. And then you just peel that back, take it off. We're done with that. And these two extra connections, I'm going to fold those up, and let's see if we just trim those with the scissors. We might have to use the wire. Oh no, there we go. There. Do away with that. Now our first strip is ready to go in. Now we've got a little bit of room, a little bit of clearance issue right there on the edge. So we don't want to cut into that copper circuit right there where the plus is. We're going to take that off just for clearance there on the edge of our RG. And that's how our first strip's going to set. Now, like I said, we're going to leave that connected, so that's going to have to go through there. So we need to widen that out. And that's what we got our drill for. So we'll just set that on a hard base here. All I'm going to do is put that through and run it, and just put a little bit of force up and down. Just go a little at a time. You don't want to damage the chrome. You want to keep that looking good. Looks like I might have damaged that a little bit. Alright. No, not quite. You don't have to worry about making holes in the back of this because we're going to seal it all up with silicone in the very end. Just got to make sure that gets through there. Not quite. Keep it handy so you can test fit it. Not quite. That should be pretty close there. Yep, there we go. And that'll go through. And that's it. Like I said, we don't have to worry about any of that. So we'll still never do have to clean some of that up a little bit with the razor knife. That's going to set right in there like so. So now we're good. So there's one. Make sure we can get those back out. Yeah. There we go. Right, let me clean that up really good. We don't want any pieces of plastic hanging around in our way. Alright. That's that. Also, that hole's going to probably need to be closer to that. So when we get to this side, we're going to want that to be as close to the ends as we can. Same thing with the beginning and the end of that, and the beginning and the end of that. So we'll probably just go ahead and do that right now. We've got the drill out. Alright, we're going to stop the video now, and I'm going to go ahead and finish all these connections, all these openings here, and then we'll restart. So go ahead and take your chrome base, make your openings closer to the edge of each beginning and each end of each letter, so that you can get your wires in. You don't need them as big as this, because you've only got, that's the only connector that we've got going through. The rest of them is just going to be basically 3 of the little tiny wires. Alright, there we go.